Hello everyone and welcome to a standard knife only 120 FPS Claire A speedrun. Currently this is to this day, this is the world record for this category. And so yeah, we're going to go over commentary for it. So for knife only in this game, the higher the FPS, the stronger the knife is. So right now we're just going to go ahead and display how 120 FPS runs can be. I'm going to go ahead and also do another commentary on a 60 FPS commentary. And maybe we'll run into hardcore commentaries later. But for now, we're just going to go over standard. So here we are on standard in the gas station. Nothing much is going to be happening here. We have one zombie that's here. We cannot shoot it in the head, obviously, because it's knife only. So what we need to do is just bait it, and that's what we're going to be doing a lot in this run. We're going to be baiting zombies, make them lunge at us and then make them miss completely, just like this. So we just completely dodge it, and we go past it. So, yeah, that's gas station. So that's how, this is how this run is mainly on knife only. Again, we're just going to be avoiding a ton of zombies and then killing bosses extremely fast with just a knife. So we'll see how it goes. So knife only has a lot of RNG, and I mean a lot. But the thing is, on standard, it really isn't that, threatening to the run. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna go ahead and walk to the RPD. Here at the RPD, though, what we're gonna be doing is taking damage from this zombie that's here in the corner with no arms, because this zombie puts us into caution the fastest out of all the other zombies in the game. If this were hardcore, though, it will only take one bite, but here we have to take two because standard doesn't take that much damage from zombies. So yeah, that's about it. So there you go, we take the damage, we're in caution, and now we're about 1.25 times faster than before. I don't know, that's like a really weird number to throw out there, but that's what I'm assuming. Alright, we got the weird RNG, so what we had to do is just strafe to the right a little bit and we'll dodge it. There's so many different situations that knife only can have, and you just gotta play right. Once you play enough, you can go ahead and tell, okay, if this certain thing happens, you have to do this. Or some other thing happens, you have to do it this way. There's a whole bunch of ways of doing a lot of sections in this run. And it's a lot of, sometimes it's a lot of improvising. But then, once you figure out these patterns, you'll know which one to take every single time. Okay, so we're gonna go over here, get to Elliot. And the guy's gonna be half dead. He's not exactly dead yet. And now we go ahead and pause the game here. Pausing the game here will make the zombie interaction with that door fade very fast. We could just run through immediately after the pause. So we save a second or two just by pausing there. And here with these two zombies, as to why that dodge works, it's super weird. If it's your first time watching a run like this, it's very complicated, but how that works is why that zombie did not attack me right away is because the other zombie attacked. Sometimes, if you walk next to two zombies and one of them attacks, the other one won't attack for a little while. I don't know, it's just a weird mechanic in this game. And we try to take advantage of it as much as we can in all of the knife-only runs, because it allows us to just run through. So there, I deleted my key and then the pistol ammo. We don't need the pistol ammo. So we try to delete it as fast as we can. And that allows me to put the next key, the spade key, into the right spot for faster menuing. I am playing on controller on PC, by the way, and I have a few disadvantages, but you'll see me move to keyboard and mouse for a few sections in this run, which I will get to once we get there. Alright, so there's two. Okay, so I haven't explained the quick turns yet. Maybe I do a quick turn here. Not too sure if I do. Do I? I don't do it there. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick turn here before we start stair skating. I'm going to use the trigger, as you can see right there, to do the turn. I'll be doing that a lot around every single corner. to try and get around there. That dodge is a little hard to do. It's all depending on timing. There, what you do is bait him, and then as soon as he attacks, you strafe to the left a little bit, and then you do another stair skate, move forward, and then you turn right, and you dodge that attack. It's a lot easier to do on hardcore, but standard, it's a little bit more tricky since the zombies are much slower. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of stair skating, a lot of quick turning around, very sharp turns. I'm also going to be using the analog stick instead of the trigger, like the stair skate animation. I'll just be using the trigger instead in order to save as much time as possible. Alright, so there you go. See, I immediately used the key right away because it's right in the right spot for me. Save a lot of time with menuing that way. Alright, the medallion puzzles. Had some pretty good RNG there. Those puzzles, all the medallions, all RNG. There's nothing you could do about it. If they're like 4 spots away from being into the right spot, then you have to go ahead and just deal with it. Some runs, you just move once. So weird. And it's just super unfortunate about this kind of run. Having to really depend on really good RNG for those medallions, and it happens 3 times. There, okay, nice. So there, a helicopter makes you flinch. Usually, if you're looking forward, it'll make you flinch backwards. But if you aim at the right time, as soon as it crashes into the right side of the wall, it'll make you flinch sideways or forward and not move you backwards. So that's really good. Okay, so there, I moved my bolt cutters into the first slot so that we can just menu it immediately. Alright, so good RNG there. We didn't get a zombie in the way. There's a high chance of getting a zombie in the way there, which usually is not a run killer, but you usually lose 3 to 4 seconds. And it's really unfortunate when it happens, but he wasn't in the way, so that's nicely done there. Alright, so now we're going into the next long hallway. There's 2 zombies that are a threat, and really just one. One of them you could just avoid pretty easily. But the other one is named Bagels, and he's at the very end of this hallway. And he can be in the way about more than 50% of the time. Okay, so you don't see him here, it doesn't mean he's not a threat. So we'll see how we do the turn here. Nice, he's very far away from me. I'm able to just run through like nothing. So that's good. So after we enter through this door, I'm going to delete the bolt cutters now that we use it on every single instance in the game that we need it for. And now we just have the battery right in the right spot. Or not the battery, the detonator, excuse me. And we just run through. Got good RNG there by that zombie as well. That's right next to the, I think the candy machine or something like that. We name him Donuts. That guy is also a big run killer in terms of losing time. Yeah, so far so good. Usually, it's the same as NG, but the thing is you cannot shoot zombies that are in your way. So, like, if you have really bad RNG, you're going to lose the most time out of it. Alright, so let's see what this liquor does. This liquor usually gives you a free pass. Okay, that time he just licked me right away. Alright, that's still pretty good. We don't lose that much time. Maybe lose, like, maybe a second or 2. Which isn't too bad. Now here the RNG again, which was pretty decent. To kind of messed up that puzzle a little bit, but that's fine. Pick up that knife. So that zombie there, I have to wait a little bit. It's only that zombie I have to wait. If it's any other 2 zombies that are there, I can just run through without waiting next to that table. But at that time, since it was that specific zombie, what it'll do is just turn right at you, and then you have to run backwards to dodge it. But there's another way. You just wait probably a second, and then you can just run through. Nice. Okay, so there's our first hit pouch. The first of the 2 that we grab in this run. You can do only 1 hit pouch, but menuing is a little bit more, I would say, more risky. You can't grab that many items. And yeah, it's definitely risky at the end, because in the end we have to go through the lab section, and a lot of things can go wrong in terms of taking so much damage. So the more healing items that you have, the better, because it is knife only. You have to deal with a bunch of zombies and lickers at the end. So these zombies gave me good RNG. They attacked at the right time. Sometimes the zombies there can actually attack you a little, like maybe half a second late, and as soon as you land, the zombie will actually be right on you and they'll grab you. So, yeah, just the worst RNG that's out there. Alright, so now we're done with the RPD1. We call it the RPD1. Now that's over. Now we go into the G1 boss fight, and then we are going to head into RPD2, which is probably the more harder section of our... Actually, no, this is A story. A story, RPD1's harder. RPD2 is a little bit easier. B story is a little bit different. So yeah, well, here we are, still taking advantage of the stair skates. And this would be like good time for little breaks, especially with cutscenes coming up. Cutscenes, you can decide to skip them or not. The timer does not continue when a cutscene is rolling, so that's what's really awesome about this game compared to like RE7 or something like that. RE7, the cutscenes always have to play and you can't skip them. So here you want to look down and swing in this kind of fashion. This gives Claire the longest knifing animation in terms of doing damage, and since this is 120 FPS, the fight is over. The fight is super fast. If you can hear the volume much more clearer, you can hear that the knife is super effective. Like, you can just hear all the amount of like damage that you can do. Like, once you guys see the 60 FPS commentary, you'll be able to tell the difference, and the fight is completely different, and it's a lot longer. But yeah, this is 120. It's pretty overpowered, but it just goes to show like how fast we can optimize these runs at 120 FPS in terms of just performance on these bosses. Alright, so that was G1. We're gonna have to fight the G boss 5 times in this run. No, 4 times is A story. Fight him 4 times. This is the first time. The next time is gonna be in the sewers, which is gonna be quite a while from now. So now all we have to do is just interact with this and then continue on with the rest of the game. So this next section is where we really see how crazy lickers can be. There's going to be 2 lickers here, actually 3 in total, and we're going to have to run through them about 2, let's see, there's 1, yeah, we're going to run through them twice. And we have to take specific lines. This specific line that I'm taking is probably one of the few lines that you can take without taking any damage. Any specific line that you take that isn't one of those, you'll most likely take damage and lose a lot of time. So here, you want to pull out until the arm touches there, and then you want to pick up the knife, and then leave right away. Now this is another specific line. What I do is just turn, I look down, I turn to the left a little bit. Hopefully the licker lets me pass, and nicely done. Yeah, that's my way of doing it. There's a lot of runners that do it in other specific ways, but that's just the way I do it. So here you want to turn around and aim away from that licker, and that licker would just jump right over you. So nicely done. I didn't take any damage. I didn't have to go around a licker and lose like 1 or 2 seconds that way. It's perfectly done. Nice. So that is the first part of RPD2, and that's probably the hardest part. Now the rest is just, just making sure I avoid zombies at the right time. So here I'm also going to fix my inventory. I'm going to move that last key that we grabbed, the diamond key, into a specific slot for my inventory. There you go. So that I can get it ready for the heart key. The heart key is going to be the next key that we're going to be using for the rest of the RPD section. The diamond key we're already done using, so I just move it to some useless spot. So yeah, all the menu that I've been doing is to avoid using the item box, because when we use the item box to like trash anything, we lose a lot of time. You just want to avoid the item box as much as possible. Okay, so this is where I'm going to use the keyboard and mouse for the first time. I'm going to pause the game because it paused the in-game timer. And then here we go. So using the mouse, you're able to move the item to its backside extremely fast. If you're using controller, you have to use like 2 or 3 seconds to get to that backside. So that's one of the only sections that I changed the keyboard and mouse. And the only reason why I play on controller is because it's just preference. I enjoy playing games on controller. Just so much easier for me than using keyboard and mouse. But for things that, save me a ton of time, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and use keyboard and mouse, especially if it's like small sections like that with small menus. So not too bad. So here's a zombie, which isn't that much of a threat on standard, but if you activate her a little bit too early, meaning like if she sees you early, then you might have to just walk to the right a little bit more. But we had some good RNG. She didn't get a speed boost either. Zombies get a speed boost from time to time, and it's really hard to expect, especially like if you want to go ahead and bait a zombie and make it lunge at you, but then like a sudden speed boost happens, you have to react a little bit faster. Alright, let's see Mr. X for the very first time. This is the Tyrant. So there, you can actually aim at his face at a certain distance, and he'll just attack right past you. So I take advantage of it, mainly there. So there's that first instance where I turn using the analog stick. Saves me a little bit of time rather than aiming. And actually, if you're right next to a door and you try to aim and then turn, it won't work. You'll actually just stop your momentum and she'll just walk instead. So as using analog sticks is kind of one of the more better strats to doing quick turns. Alright, so I grabbed a healing item there just in case we get wrecked here. So there, I went to the door a little bit incorrectly, but then still that liquor attacked really late. Totally forgot about that one, so now we have to heal. I didn't go into danger there. I'm surprised I didn't. I should have gone into danger, but we're perfectly fine now. Alright, that was a lot of bad RNG, but that's fine. We're good to go. More bad RNG. Man, that liquor's pretty aggressive. But nonetheless, we made it through without Mr. X being in the way either. It's perfectly fine. So yeah, that's knife only for you, man. And it could have been worse. There's zombies there in the way. The liquor could have just knocked us into a zombie or something, depending on how I reacted to the attack. Alright, so there I had to bait the zombie out of the way. If I didn't bait him and I just walked through, he could have actually bit me as I was pushing this. So for standard, what we do is just bait the zombie that way. And we don't have to worry about it later without any bites here. So we lose like a second and a half there, which isn't too bad. So not too bad. Pretty good RNG for RPD2. Could have been a little bit better, obviously, with that liquor. But whatever, it's fine. So here, I want to bait the zombie to attack me. Hopefully we get it. I don't know if I got it there. I can't even hear the audio right now. But we'll see. We'll see what I do afterwards. If we did bait him, then we just walk straight through the door, walk forward. But if we didn't bait him, I'm gonna look down at the floor as I'm exiting and run to the right side. And usually I have a high chance of escaping that. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, so here we're gonna get the last part, the last electronic part in the clock tower. And we're gonna have to use, well, not use, we're gonna solve a little puzzle here with these gears. Alright. So not too bad. Let's see what I do here. Yeah, I'm gonna look down. Okay, yeah, my RNG was pretty decent there. So we didn't bait him outside before. So we just got really fortunate. And then right there too, like we had some pretty bad RNG with him since he walked into that hall. And I just went ahead and just said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just risk it. And we got lucky. So there also, you want to bait that attack and then you want to walk to the right side. And then get the last electronic part. This is my way of doing this. There's two ways of doing this route for knife only. And I do it this way. I think it's just a little bit more convenient for me. Especially since like if you do it the other way, you might lose 2 seconds due to the zombie being in your way. So it's all depending. But it also makes menuing a little bit easier if you do it this way. Especially for hardcore. Hardcore is usually you definitely want to do this route. Here I'm going to go into keyboard and mouse again. I'm going to solve this electronic puzzle. Which is an RNG, which is very nice. It's always the same. For the specific story. So here it's just, I think it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 changes. So very fast. I think this is the fastest electronic puzzle out of all the stories. So yeah, not too bad of an RPD section. Of course, we're a little bit behind on RPB, but that's perfectly fine. So here I'm gonna do quick turns with Sherry. This is the fastest way of doing this section, and it's a little bit confusing to do on controller. And here is one of the nastiest RNG puzzles in the game. Let's see how well we do here. I think we're gonna get like 40 changes or something. Yeah, like I had to change all of them. I overreacted by saying 40, but I had to change all of them. It's just, it's really bad RNG. That's all I have to say. Like, oh man, a lot of things can just go wrong. Like, you can be perfect, you can have massive time save there, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have to change all 4 blocks, and have to move them maybe 3 times each, which is disgusting. But oh well. Here we are in the Sherry section. It's probably the most boring section in the game, where we have to just hide from Chief Irons for probably like 5 minutes or something. So yeah, nothing crazy is gonna be happening here, especially on standard, where basically you can even stand right in the open and he still won't see you. Like, it's absolutely insane how standard is. On hardcore, it's a much different story. If you decide to peek on hardcore, he's gonna see you. I don't know why standard and hardcore are such a major differences. I would probably expect it on the easier difficulty than standard, but it is what it is. And yeah, so, right there, I accidentally turned a little too sharp, so Sherry like loses momentum, and I lost like probably half a second there. It's really dumb. Like, Sherry has like the weirdest and nastiest movement in the game. Like, if you think Claire's movement's pretty bad or Leon's movement's bad, nah, Sherry will just top it off. Alright. So here, yeah, nothing's gonna be happening. Now we just gotta wait for him to come up and let this whole section run through. So yeah, here, like, he takes a while. You can just take a little break. Drink some water, eat a little snack if you wanted to. And you could just stand here. Here I crouch, because I really don't know how this works. I know for a fact I could just stand up there and not even worry about holding the trigger. But just for safety reasons, I don't want to risk it at all, because I think if I get grabbed here, I think we have to like go back probably, I don't know, like another minute or something. Yeah, you just restart basically to where like you unlock the scissors, something like that, somewhere there. Yeah, all we have to do is go around here. Once he comes back around to try and, you know, double check over here, we're gonna go underneath a table and we're gonna hide there until Chief Irons comes right next to us, and then the next strat begins where I have to run next to him in order to save as much time as possible. So yeah, like I said before, nothing super major compared to NG and knife only other than I'm not using my pistol to shoot zombies in the head that are in my way. That's about it. That's for now. Up until G2, that's when the strats change. Actually, well, yeah, G2 might be a little, yeah, G2 is definitely a little bit different. And then G3 is definitely different. G4 is definitely different. G4, once we get there, I'll explain it. But the bosses from G3 to G4 have very specific fights for knife only, and it's pretty interesting. So once we get there, I'll talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so here we are at his last little sentence there. As soon as he pushes me, I move forward. As soon as he's ready to run, I run. And there you go. That's as close as I can get to the door. Grab the key, turn around. That was a really bad turn, but you can turn a little bit better than that and save a little bit more time. Alright, so there what I'm doing, if you're running keyboard and mouse, you can actually do that a little bit easier. What you're doing is moving side to side, the camera. I think you're moving the camera. No, you're actually moving her side to side. And what she does is she actually walks down the staircase faster doing that. For a controller, it's very weird. Like, you have to do some weird movement with the analog stick. And it's much more, definitely much more comfortable to do on keyboard and mouse. But I try to implement it with controller, and it's possible, but it's very uncomfortable. So that's the Sherry section. Very nice and fast. Well, kind of slow, but it goes by very quickly if you don't think about it. So here we're going to do a quick turn and then go through the door. I don't know why that door is very weird to run through. Sometimes Claire doesn't want to run through it, so I just tend to just do a quick turn. Well, I turn the camera and then I sprint through it. Seems to be the only way that works for me. Alright, so now we're finally gonna go into the sewer section, but before that we need to go through like a giant yard and a huge basketball court and so on. And that part has quite a bit of RNG to deal with, but that's fine. So Mr. X spawns here. All you want to do is just run up to him, let him attack, and then you can just run through without any problem. And here's the next zombie. There's going to be 2 zombies here at this gate. At this gate, once the gate lands, what you want to do is run in front of the path of the doorway and then bait the zombie, and when you bait it, you run backwards. As soon as he baits, you run back into the door. You dodge the attack. There you go. See, you want to wait until the door lands, because if you go before the door lands, the zombie will not attack. It's like the zombie's programmed until the door hits the floor, then you can attack. So you just got to think about it that way and make sure that you wait until then, because if you go a little too soon, you're going to mistime it and then you're actually going to lose time. Nicely done. Sometimes that zombie there named, I think her name's Misty or something, and sometimes you get bad RNG and she'll just quickly 180 no scope you. It's freaking nasty. I say 180 no scopes where zombies just completely do a complete turn just to grab you, and they're insanely fast when they do that turn, even on standard. On hardcore is like a whole different level of 180 no scopes. It's freaking wild. That dog can give you like 4 different ways of RNG. We got the good way. We could just run through without any problems. So here we're going to bait the zombie. Run backwards. Run through it. The dog probably gave me good RNG. Yeah, it's barking, so we could just run through. Nice. So yeah, like that dog can also be very bad. Like if it's not barking, it'll be running towards the bus door already. And as soon as you're exiting, the dog will attack you and hit you. But if that RNG happens, I tend to just wait until after the attack happens, and then I just run through. But you have to pay attention to all the scenarios that can happen. Alright, so now Chief Irons is dead. Well deserved. Alright, so more stair skating, and now Mr. X is going to spawn again, but he's not going to be a threat. Nothing happens here. You just run way much faster than he does. Especially on standard and you're running on caution. You're just too fast for him. Even on hardcore, you're too fast for him. Even if you're running with Leon, where you don't have the caution boost. Mr. X is just too slow in this game. Alright. Now we are in the Sherry section. The sewer section. I'm sorry, Sherry. Well, I guess it's kind of like the Sherry section, right? You are trying to save Sherry here. Okay, so coming up is going to be a huge staircase. There's going to be doing a bunch of stair skates there. And then after that, there's going to be a room with 3 zombies and 2 of them being a threat. Here, there's 2 ways of doing it. You could bait the first zombie, or you can go around the first zombie and then do this dodge that I do with the second one. The second one it's a little weird and a little scary to do, but I think it saves more time. So there, like, as you can see, it seems like I should get grabbed there, but since the zombie doesn't have a left hand, it won't grab you. There are a few zombies that I do that for, and it's pretty nerve-wracking, but it works. It's really fun to do. Just dodges like that make the run a little bit more exciting for myself. Alright, so we're going to grab the key to continue on to the sewers to open a few doors. And then we finally meet the 2 zombies that are downstairs. I have a lot of RNG in them. They could probably knock me to the ground, or they can grab me from behind. They can kill me. Well, nah, I don't think they can kill me depending on my HP. But if they do grab me, I will just use my knife. Or like I get pushed to the ground and I'm in danger. I thought I was gonna die. ended up being okay, because usually when you get knocked into danger, bad stuff happens. But not too bad. I think I had very high caution that time, so I was okay. So here I'm gonna bait both zombies back. Alright, nicely done. So like I want both of them in the water. If they're not both in the water, I will have bad RNG and they'll be on the concrete, and I'll probably take another bite there, and I'll be extremely bad since I don't have any more healing items, and I'll be running in danger for a little bit. And we want to avoid that completely. And it's just unfortunate that the world record for this took that kind of bite. Just unfortunate RNG. It is all RNG with those zombies, no matter how well you go down that staircase. So there, we're going to go ahead and grab that. An extra hip pouch, an extra 2 items for ourselves once we get to the labs. And we grab that fast enough to avoid that zombie's bite too. And that also works on hardcore, if you're ever wondering. A lot of these strats you can carry over to hardcore, but not all of them. Alright, not bad. So we got good speed going into that room, into where that Geodult isn't there. Alright, we got some good RNG with these zombies, so we can just run through. But since that yellow vest zombie is there, that yellow vest zombie is going to be a threat after we come back with the plugs. He's going to be on the staircase leading into the G2 boss fight. We'll get to that once we come back over here. So now we get our real first interaction with a Geodult, and Geodults are a little tricky, especially knife only. Knife only, you have to bait them and then run backwards, and you have to time it. Unlike NG, you can shoot them and they can just get up, and then you can walk right next to them like nothing, or you can despawn them that way too by shooting them. But for us, on knife only, we have to bait. So here you have to take this specific route, this specific line. We bait him out, we quick turn back, we run through and squeeze through, and here we don't have to dodge that one. If we're fast enough, we can just walk right past it, and he won't attack us at all. It's like he doesn't even see us, which is very nice. Alright, so this room, definitely much easier than B-Story. This room, there's only one zombie, and unlike NG, all we do is just grab the plugs and exit. NG, what you do, you grab that gun that was there in that frame for a little while, which takes a little bit more time to do, but this is where the route changes a little bit. So we get the king, and then we're going to get the queen back in order to solve this puzzle. I remember the first time I played this game, I was stuck in this room for like probably 6 minutes trying to figure out what the heck am I supposed to do to get out of here. It took me a long time, but then I finally figured it out. It's such a really easy puzzle now. Alright. So there, like, I accidentally moved I think I moved the king plug a little too far. I didn't want to do it. I don't know why. The game, I guess my analog stick read that I wanted to move it. Good RNG. Nice, we got good RNG. So here, that Geodult can either give you really good RNG or really bad RNG. Really bad RNG is where, like, you have to bait his arm attack again. And the really good RNG is when he's making G children, which you can just run right next to him like nothing. So here, I get another safety healing item. Just gonna grab that. I don't lose any time besides the frame of that item coming into my inventory. That's about it, which isn't too bad. The more healing items for the labs, the better. We're gonna take those. Okay, so now we're done with the plugs, and now we're back to this yellow vest zombie that could be a threat. And he is definitely going to be a threat, and all we have to do is walk around, and hopefully he's in the right spot. And he is in the right spot, nice. So yeah, usually if he's not there, I can easily just cut right through and save as much time as possible, but we had to probably cut like a fraction of a second trying to go around him, which isn't too bad. It's just, you gotta, you know, work with what the game gives you in RNG. That's why there's so many different scenarios. Here I'm going to get rid of the T-bar and both keys, and then we're going to solve this puzzle. We do not need those items anymore. And the more items, let's see. The more inventory space, the better for the labs. There you go. God. Couldn't even think of those words right now. So nice. So the puzzle's already done. A-story puzzle is probably a little bit easier than B-story, and the B-story is a little bit confusing. So we're not going to grab the blue herb. This entire run, blue herbs and red herbs are completely out of the question. Because like I said before at the very beginning of the run, being on caution is much faster than being on fine HP throughout the entire run. If we're on fine HP at any point in this run, it's kind of bad. And we want to avoid it. Okay, so we're going to spawn G2. And what we're hoping here is for good RNG and hope that he gets a 2 claw, which we need a 1 claw be a long one, which is this one. Very nice. And then now I want him to do a quick one. And no, he did a long one, which is perfectly fine. What the most optimal thing you want is a long claw and then a quick one right after. And it's all RNG. It's really bad. It's all RNG and it's disgusting. But you know, sometimes you can get a 4 claw and it's horrible. You can get 5 sometimes too on 60 FPS. So it's not too bad. So there, I unequipped my pistol. I did that so I can pull out the knife a lot faster. And here, oh my gosh, he almost stepped on me. So what we want to do is push the button. We're going to turn around, make him attack. And he got the worst attack, but that's fine. We're going to make him flinch here. Nicely done. I should be swapping knives here before this one breaks. There you go. Swap knives. Nicely done. We got to drop him below 50 HP here. See if we do that before I'm able to press the button. Alright, we press the button now. Optimally. Now we're going to go back to him, bring it down to 50. And there you go. Nicely done. So now he's going to attack. We got to wait a little bit. There you go. Nicely done. Good G2 fight. So yeah. That attack, you have to wait at the right time. If you decide to run right next to him right as soon as he runs at you, you are actually going to die. Because he will not stretch out his arm. You have to wait maybe like a second or two for him to stretch out his arm, and then you run to the right side of him. So not too bad. Even though we got 2 slow claws, we ended up saving a little bit of time there. And again, like, you can take damage during that fight and you won't lose time as long as you hit the buttons as soon as possible. That is where you get a lot of time save. So yeah, that's G2. Now we're going to go ahead into the labs. We save. Well, did we save Sherry? Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, we did save Sherry. So now that we're done with this section, we're done with the sewers, and now we're going into the labs, where the run gets exponentially harder, where we have to run through 5 zombies, 3 and 2 lickers. It's extremely disgusting. But this run's going really great so far. Not too bad. I mean, that's because we even got knocked down by the zombies. By the one zombie that put us into the ground and put us in danger. It's not too shabby. We'll take those. Oh, I also want to clarify that standard runs do not use the infinite knife. So you only want to use the knives that the game gives you throughout the game. And this is where standard gets pretty weird in terms of the knife usage that you want. And you want to make sure that you keep every single knife. You don't want to break any of them. If you break one, it's kind of bad because you want to keep them just in case an Ivy takes it from you, or a zombie decides to attack in front of you and you just want to push them off. That's where it gets a little scary because you need 3 knives for G3 and then you need 1.5 knives for G4. So it's a lot of knife management throughout this entire game. So you just want to make sure that you don't get grabbed too much. And if you do, like, you don't want to use the knife, of course, then you're going to lose like 5 seconds. That's if you get grabbed from the front. Alright, so we finally got our pass to unlock doors in this lab. And this is where like a lot of RNG will start happening. So here we're going to get another knife. I think this makes us 3 knives or 4.5. We have 3. Okay, we have 3 full knives and then probably 2 weak ones, which is pretty good. Alright, so let's see what the zombies RNG is going to give me. Nope, we got to bait him, run back, and go forward. Okay, so that zombie is actually one of the few zombies on standard that can double lunge. I think there's like 3 zombies that could double lunge on standard, from what I remember. But yeah, that one could double lunge. If he's really close to you after his first lunge is over, he'll double lunge again. So that one, like, I'm very cautious about, and I don't try to save as much time as possible to try and run past him as soon as his animation is over, because once his animation is over and I'm right next to him, he's probably going to attack me again. So you really want to watch out for that guy. See, on hardcore, every single zombie can double lunge, but on standard, not all of them do it. Hell, most of them don't do it. Just a few of them do it. Super weird. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get to the IVs. So, I think, have I equipped a weak knife yet? I'm pretty sure I have. If not, then I'll equip it later. But whenever we are in this section, you want to have a weak knife equipped. What's really nice about this game is that when you have a weak knife equipped and you lose it, like say if you use it on an IV to not die, what'll happen is you'll lose the knife, but then it'll go, your inventory will automatically go to the next weakest knife, which is super awesome because you don't have to menu to it again. And it won't go to like a really, really healthy knife that you need for G3, so it's perfect. So there I did menuing so I can put the container in the right spot. And this is where the run gets extremely Monka-esque. And here runs die a lot. Here you want to be careful. You want to make sure you hit the red first, because sometimes speedrunners, what we tend to do is try to be as fast as possible. And when we hit the right input too fast, the game won't read it, and that's because we hit it too soon. And we'll hit A or the enter button, whatever you're using on keyboard, to interact with stuff, and you'll actually hit the green button first, and it'll make the run die. So you really want to watch out for that. Alright, so here we're going to interact with our first IV. Here we want to bait him. Let's see if we do it. He gave me the extremely good RNG. Okay, there's some really good RNG that you can get there, and you can just go ahead and run through without him attacking. Alright, we'll take that one. Yeah, like, if he ended up walking forward, I would have to dodge his attack and then run forward. That's fine. So here, 3 zombies wake up, and then the lickers spawn. All you have to do is look down to make that licker not attack you. And here, there's another zombie at that right corner, and then we just got stair skate all the way up to the modulator. And then another zombie's gonna fall here. You want to stick to the right side so you don't take a hit from it. And hopefully we get some really good RNG here. If we get bad RNG, then we're gonna have to dodge 2 zombies. Let's see. Okay, good RNG. Oh, there you go. Run backwards. Nice. Not too bad. See how that one is? That one, oh my goodness. He was so close. Okay, that was unfortunate. He was extremely close, and that's why we have safety heals. That was crazy. Yeah, that usually never happens, but whatever. We're going to keep on going here. Okay, good RNG. No zombies in the way. So what we want to do for the lickers, you want to look up. I'm going to grab this healing item on the side. Okay, we didn't get attacked by the lickers. Nicely done. Okay, the licker went for a jump attack. Here we want to solve this as fast as possible. And here, since there's lickers everywhere, I kind of want to take advantage of my iframes. I'm going to run into a zombie. Use a knife. Use one of my weak knives. Pretty good. Did we run through the zombies? Not too bad. And now the lickers. Oh, well, okay, that licker actually licked me, unfortunately. But there you go. Not too bad. So yeah, see, you want to run into a zombie there. If you see horrible RNG from lickers. If you get horrible RNG, just run into a zombie, use the spare knife that you have. Of course, it has to be a weak one. So not too bad. So now we gotta run into the server room. The server room is another room in this section where there's another knife for you to grab. So far, lab, yeah, it's pretty decent. Could have been a little bit better, especially since I got knocked down by that one zombie on the staircase, but we're gonna have to take those. Because it sucks, because when you get grabbed by a zombie on staircases, they knock you down for sure, 100% of the time. Alright, pretty good RNG there. Nice, nice, nice. No zombies in the way anymore. Lickers decided to do their own thing. Nicely done. Nice. Perfect. Do I take damage from a licker here? Yeah, I do. Alright, there you go. Not bad. That was a pretty good lab. We're gonna have to take that one. The RNG could be completely bad. Sometimes RNG is good here. Nice. Yeah, sometimes the IVs are sleepers. Just run by them and don't have to worry about it. Sometimes it'll look like they're sleepers though, and they'll attack you as soon as you're right in front of them. It just depends on what's gonna happen. So there, I unequip the pistol because we don't need to equip it anymore for stair skating. I haven't explained it yet, but whenever you have the flashlight out, you cannot stair skate or turn with the knife. It's a little bit slower. Alright, so another Ivy's gonna be here. What I do is turn to the left to avoid it. That Ivy's probably the scariest one. And this one has a lot of RNG. But we'll take it. Oh man. Sometimes the RNG is like, he'll attack you as soon as you're right in front of it. Sometimes it'll just be a sleeper. It's so weird. But we're gonna take it. Nicely done. Nice. And we have 4 knives actually for the end of the game, which is pretty insane in terms of for knife management. And it would have been okay if that IV grabbed me in terms of knife management, because we would have still had 4 full knives. So, pretty good. Pretty good labs. We're going to have to take it. And, yeah, so now G3, the strat is a little scuffed right now. It's extremely hard because it's also dependent on your DA. And your DA, what you really want it to be is around... I would say like 5,500 when you start the fight, but right now mine's is almost 6,000. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have, I think we might have a pretty scary, tough fight. It's not tough meaning like I'm gonna die, it's tough meaning like to pop the eyes, it takes a while. If you don't know what DA is, difficulty adjustment, it all depends on how well you're playing. If you're playing really well, the game gets harder, which means the score gets higher. If you're playing really badly, the score goes lower and the game gets easier. So there's a lot of things to take in, like especially if you pick up healing items, like I've been doing this throughout this entire run. The DA goes up and up and up, and using them too, it's like a double negative for us. Alright, so here you want to pop the eye. You want to hit him 3 times. The 3rd time you want to walk backwards though. And there you go. He does that attack. We pop this eye. We're going to go for his back. Hopefully we get it here. Nope, we missed completely, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to go for the backup strat. And let's see if we can pop the eye here. And we don't pop the eye there. So now we got to go for the second backup, which is where he does this attack again. There we go behind him. And then pop it. Unfortunate. But it is what it is. So here I'm watching my knife HP. I'm going to do equip a new knife and then equip the pistol or unequip it depending on what I'm doing. And there you go. Like the swing continues, which is perfect. So now equip the next one. Go for the pistol again. So not too bad. So we should be able to kill him here. Yep. He has very low HP now. There you go. GG's. So as you can see, I didn't lose any time. If I had actually gotten him down the first time, it would have saved a lot of time. But we'll save it for next time. Not too bad of a G3 fight. That's how G3 goes for knife only. You want to make sure you destroy the eye. You want to destroy 2 eyes and within like 5 seconds. Which is pretty cool for a knife only run. But then the run gets a little bit more complicated once we get to G4. G4 is a very specific strat. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, so nothing's going to be happening here. We're just going to get Sherry because now she's going to be healed with this new serum thing that Claire had freaking grabbed. And then we get the last key of the game. And now we can end to the end of the game. So yeah, so that's knife only, guys. Knife only is basically... It's basically NG without using the pistol, without using the, using the pistol to shoot zombies in the head to avoid the bad RNG. So what you see in knife only runs is the ways of dodging zombies and ways of interacting with certain scenarios and different scenarios that you get during runs. It's a lot of RNG, but then again, like, you can still definitely survive the RNG super well. And it makes the run interesting. Like, instead of just, shooting zombies in the head all the time, no, we have to evade, we have to adapt to stuff, and it's pretty fun. This is why I like knife only a lot, and you know, and it just gets extremely harder from there. Like, we're playing standard right now. We could be playing hardcore, and it's just a whole different story. Especially with no hip pouches. Because I grabbed 2 hip pouches here. On hardcore, you don't grab a single one. Makes it a lot harder. So here, what do I do? I might grab the first aid spray. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to grab it. It's a little bit of a time loss, but whatever. So yeah, here I use my old G4 strat. I found a new way to kill G4 super extremely fast. But we haven't implemented it into this run yet. And I also picked up that knife too for G4. We need 1.5 knives for G4. So the more knives the better, just in case. Alright. Here we go. The IVs are completely pointless here. They don't do anything to us. Even on hardcore, if you're running Claire, nothing will happen. Alright, so there's 2 ways of doing this section. You can make the IV spawn and climb up the ladder and then wait for a specific time, and then you can climb back down and the IVs won't do anything to you. Or what you can do is you can use all of your weak knives to make your inventory a little bit better and get rid of them here and kill the IVs. So there, I put 1 IV down. Now we're waiting for the second one. There you go. 1 knife breaks. There's the other knife breaking. That knife broke, and I think I have 1 more weak knife. I was actually a little scared there. I thought I used a very strong knife, but we're good. We have really good knives right now to kill G4. So here's the last zombie that can double lunge on standard. But this zombie is another zombie that doesn't have a left hand. So here, what we're going to do is bait it and then do the dodge right next to him. You cannot do that for every single zombie. That one's a very cool dodge. When I first saw it, I was like, dang, that is freaking cool to do. So I've been implementing it in all my runs for Claire, and it's been working out very well. You can even do it on hardcore. Hardcore is, oh man, it's scarier because these zombies are faster. Alright, here we go. I'm going to grab this plug for the last... Okay, now this is the final key for sure. And then we fight G4. Alright, I don't think I'm going to do well in this fight. We'll see here. So what you want to do is stand in this corner here. What I like to do is get my right foot into that little triangle and then wait for him to jump down. Then we're going to do a big hit there. Wait for the eyes to spawn. What's important about this fight, you have to hit the eyes as fast as possible. So there, you want to run to the left. We're going to do 2 hits here, and we're going to run around him. I think I might take damage. Oh, man, that was close. That was good, though. Okay, yeah, we got the bad RNG. I don't like this type of fight whenever he does that early. It's really bad when that happens, because then now, like, the pattern is completely off. Alright, so the knife is about to break, and it just broke on me right now. Took more damage there. Usually now, in my new strat, I use only 1 damage, 1 attack from him. So, I mean, not too shabby. Think we kill him here, maybe? Nope. Dang. So, yeah, I lost a lot of time there from that attack. You want to kill him before he does that attack. Jeez. Alright, that was a very scary fight, but we got it done. Whew, man. Not too bad. That is G4. G4 is really scuffed. Like, you really want to make sure you get the right attacks from him. Because if you don't, like, things will just completely change. But not too bad either way. And that is... that is the world record. We lost 10 seconds at the end. 9 seconds. Well, I'm pretty sure there's more time saved there, but... that is standard knife only, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. And we'll see you guys in the next commentary. Peace!